decide for yourself. The benefits of rejecting the CEO self-model. You've probably heard the saying, be the CEO of your own life. It sounds empowering, right? But what if the whole idea that there is some executive you sitting in the control room of your mind isn't just inaccurate, but actually the source of so many problems? Today, let's flip the script. Let's look at what happens when you stop trying to be the CEO and start letting the whole organization of you run as it was designed to. Dynamically, fluidly, and interdependently. Let's start with the realization that the so-called CEO self-model is everywhere. It is truly baked into our language. We say things like, I decided, I control my emotions, I'm managing my thoughts. And so the image is clear. One little homunculus inside your head, pulling levers, issuing orders, and managing departments called emotion, memory, and behavior. But cognitive science and contemplative traditions, from Buddhism to modern neuroscience, are starting to agree on something extraordinary. That there is, in fact, no single CEO in charge of your life. And there never was. What we call the self is more like an ongoing meeting, a flexible conversation among countless mental processes, all interacting in real time. So what happens when you reject the CEO model? First, an enormous weight lifts. The pressure to be perfectly in control begins to dissolve. You start to see that thoughts, emotions, and impulses don't need micromanaging. They just need the occasional recognition. Like weather patterns, they arise, move, and fade according to conditions. And when you stop shouting commands from the executive suite, you begin to notice something remarkable. Things run better. Clarity, calm, and even insight emerge naturally when you stop trying to run the show. In Zen, this is called mushin, no mind. It doesn't mean the absence of mind. It means the absence of an absolute controller. It's the mental equivalent of a jazz musician improvising, completely present, completely responsive, and not clinging to any single plan. Neuroscience backs this up. Most decisions are made long before we're aware of them. The conscious I is more of a narrator than a commander, a public relations manager taking credit for the work already done by the rest of the organization. When you realize this, free will stops meaning control and starts meaning coherence. Freedom becomes the ability to harmonize with what's already happening, to act as part of the orchestra, not as its conductor. And there's also a moral dimension here. The CEO model separates the ruler from the ruled, just as it separates me from you. But the distributed model reminds us that we are networks, internally and socially. When we let go of control, empathy naturally expands. The borders between self and other soften. Compassion stops being an effort and becomes a reflection of how things actually are. And finally, the last benefit of rejecting the CEO self-model: creativity. When the CEO fades to the background, the rest of the company can finally breathe. New ideas, new associations, new forms of expression can rise without fear of executive veto. This is what the Taoists call Wu Wei, effortless action. You're not forcing life. You're letting life move through you. The brush paints, the body moves, the insight appears, without the tyranny of the manager demanding credit. So, can we now summarize the benefits of rejecting the CEO's self-model? First, less control, but more harmony. Less fear and more creativity. Less separation, more compassion. You stop being a manager of reality and start being a participant in it. And that, paradoxically, is where true freedom begins. So, decide for yourself.